Let's get going with it. Sandra, first of all, this announcement this week, British Gas, 12.5% increase on your electricity. You're not impressed?
Well, no.
No.
Basically, I'm on the fixed tariff with the gas and electric until March 18, and I have free electric on a Saturday, but I've just had an email saying my monthly payment is going to be taken from £56.10p to 94.19 per month.
Dear God.
Hike.
That's amazing.
OK, so you say you're on a fixed tariff, but you're on its home energy tariff, the one where you get the where you don't pay for electricity for 8 hours or 9 hours on one of the weekend days. Is that right?
Correct, on the Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's actually a fixed deal. I think that's just you don't get that electricity. Just to say on that before we do anything else, that's 5% of the week, and you pay roughly the same as British Gas's standard tariff. Now, British Gas's standard tariff is 25% more expensive than the cheapest on the market, so you're getting 5% of the week free, but you're paying 25% more. That tariff, you'd be far better to switch to another deal. Now, what I think is happening here is two things. I don't think this is actually about the price hike that comes in September. I think this is that your direct debit probably has left you in energy debt. You probably owe them money, and that's why they've put your direct debit up, which is separate to the rate that you pay for energy. Now, if that hasn't happened, then they're wrongly putting your direct debit up, and you have a right to call them up and ask them to explain, why are you increasing my direct debit? Because the direct debit needs to be roughly in proportion to the amount of usage you have over a year.
Yeah,
I mean, something's gone wrong there. That's not a price hike, that's a direct debit not being
No
hiked.
wonder Sandra is confused as to what's going on, because there are so many deals within deals. They just blind you with figures.
Well, you have to be very careful. There's really two separate things. There's the rate you pay for energy usage, and then there's the amount of cash they take on your direct debit. And you know, you can move to a cheaper deal but have the direct debit increased if they think you're going to use more energy. Now, overall...
Who decides how much energy
the
you
energy
or
company does. They estimate. It's an estimate, which is why you give them regular meter readings. Now, you want to be on the cheapest rate, but then you need to get a fair direct debit. So it is complex. Look, frankly, anybody on British Gas right now, none of its tariffs are cheap, not even close to the cheapest on the market. Typical user after this price hike in September with British Gas and all other big six companies standard, 1,120 quid a year. Cheapest on the market, 840. Go do a comparison.
Sandra, thank you, because Sandra, listen, because this brings us to the next call from Emma, who's talking about switching. And Emma, before we get down to business with you, I want to put this to Martin. British Gas lost nearly 400,000 accounts last year, right? They're going to lose a heck of a lot more with this, aren't they?
Probably not, no.
Why?
Because people don't switch. I think, to be fair to British Gas, it is worth noting all the other energy companies put their prices up last winter. British Gas said it would freeze, and this is just its catch-up hike. Its standard price is not more expensive than the others. But frankly,
they're still making millions and millions and millions.
I've been doing this for a decade. Yeah. I say on every programme I'm on, I talk about comparing and switching. I talk about not being on your standard tariff. 60% of people are still on their standard tariffs. They can slap you across the face with as many price rises as you like. And people still burn their money. So no, they won't lose customers. It's up to those people out there. You want to punish British Gas for its price hike. Do a comparison. Move somewhere cheaper.
So, Emma,
that punishes them. Complaining about it and bitching about it doesn't.